Good morning. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. It's transfer deadline day. So much going on this morning. It's unbelievable. Big talk about Ruben Neves to Manchester United late into yesterday evening and the early hours of this morning. Lots of talk about this deal being on but difficult to get complete. We're going to delve into that. Saul Niguez to Chelsea reported as being unlikely to off throughout the course of yesterday. Now, according to reports from Spain, is close to being completed. A loan deal with an option to buy it, not an obligation to buy it as it stands right now. We've got updates this morning on Jules Kounde's transfer, Hector Bellerin's exit, his long-awaited exit from Arsenal Football Club, Dan James completing his medical, Man United looking to get rid of at least two forwards today, Spurs' pursuit of Kessie also, plus much more. What I need from you is that like button to be smashed. We're going to open up the lines for you to phone up and have your say. Get your comments in, but it's transfer deadline day. We're here all day for you. Remember, it might be my stream, but this is your show. Anything you want to speak about, make sure you get it into that comment section. Smash that share button, as I say, retweet this, share this on your social media platforms. Make sure you've subscribed and notifications are turned on, or you join our notification group chat. The link for that is in the description below. Don't miss anything today. Let's do this, people. Good morning. Welcome back to the Terrace. It's going to be such an intriguing day today to see what happens. Lots of different reports circulating. And my advice is to listen to all the reports. I'm not saying listen to me. Listen to all the reports. Listen to everything that's being said. An example being, Fabrizio Romano has said a deal to bring I've read some things this morning that Fabrizio Romano has said that a deal to bring Saul Niguez to Chelsea could be off, could be blocked. I've seen other reports out of Spain saying that it is close to being agreed. My view is to listen to both of those and to keep an open mind, to not shut myself off from any possibility. On transfer deadline day, as we have seen over the past 20 years, anything is possible at any moment. Don't write it off. If you believe just one source, then I know it sounds horrible for me to say this, but I kind of pity you a little bit that you're in that frame of mind. Of course, there are more tried and tested sources out there that come out and say different bits and pieces, but at the end of the day, there are multiple options. There are multiple things that could happen today. A club changes their stance, a bigger offer comes in, a player puts in a transfer request. There are all manner of updates and trials and tribulations that can literally go through. As we say, late last night, Simon Phillips shared the news that a deal for Saul Niguez could be close. And I read out the comment that he put out here. I'm looking for it. It says, yes, Saul Niguez is now completely blocked. He put out, but the update just before that is that Saul Niguez to Chelsea is close with an option to buy. They are the two updates that have come out in the past 12 hours about this situation. Now, what I find really interesting is that, not so much interesting is who are we going to believe in relation to this? Who are we going to, who are we going to look at and say, not even believe, but what do we think is going to happen? And that's more the question. That's probably where I've been the most annoyed this year in relation to football fans, is that we just kind of like, we ignore maybe it's we listen more to what we want to believe as opposed to what could be the case. Does that make sense? Like we're almost in this frame of mind where it's like, oh, do you know what? I think I'm going to believe In some cases, we want to believe the positive story. In other cases, we want to believe the negative story. And I believe it's almost like a defense mechanism for us now as fans. Oh, if I believe it isn't happening and it does, it's a bonus. If I believe it is happening and it doesn't, then I'm going to be frustrated. But the reports are so varied in relation to this deal. It's unbelievable. As I say, you've got two contrasting reports coming from different reporters. What do you believe is going to happen is a question that I would pose to football fans. And that's the point here. Like literally yesterday all day, the deal was going to be off. And then late last night, it was going to be back on. Now it's completely blocked. Who would be shocked if in the next 3 or 4 hours, it was suddenly on again? That's the point I'm making to people. I would say today of all days, no matter who says it, at this early stage with over 12 hours left to go, I wouldn't be in a frame of mind where I'm sitting here and saying to myself that, oh, it's definitely happening. It isn't happening. It's on. It's over. It is what it is. I spoke about the Ruben Neves situation yesterday, and I spoke to many, many people about this, that we're in a situation where no one that's been briefed by Man United is sure about what's going to happen. Man United yesterday afternoon confirmed and briefed a number of journalists that Saul Niguez and Kounde wouldn't be happening. A few hours later, Kounde was confirmed as being a Real Madrid player. But all but one didn't ask this question, but he's been told this by colleagues. But the others I spoke to all said that they asked about Ruben Neves, and the club neither confirmed or denied whether they would or wouldn't be going for him. It was just a no answer response. For them as journalists, that's a telltale sign that something could potentially happen. You then see Renato Sanchez join Wolverhampton Wanderers. You then see betting suspended about him joining Tottenham, because of course Tottenham have got this heavy link because of Nuno. So all these things kind of happen at the same time, and it's just one of those things where you think it's just one to watch. And then there was a few reports late yesterday that were claiming that deal could potentially happen and be true. And then you get reports almost instantly saying, no, can't happen, deal's off, won't be happening, ignore it, forget it, it can't. I'm just open-minded. It's as simple and straightforward as that for me. I think to be unyielding today of all days is a mad one to me. I think is legitimately a mad one, and I wouldn't be buying into it too much. Morning, Terry. Any chance? Morning, Terry. No chance, no hope for Liverpool. I mean, there's literally no news this morning about Liverpool doing anything, good, bad, or indifferent. It's very, 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 very quiet. Very, very quiet indeed. There's no doubt about it at all. So it's going to be intriguing to see what goes on in relation to them today, but I doubt very much at all. Anyway, fair play to Willian. Takes a man to do that, but ultimately he shouldn't have been signed. Willian's such an interesting one. I mean, I thought he'd have done a lot better at Arsenal than he did, if I'm being absolutely honest with you. I thought he'd have done a bit better than he did. I can't wait to get through this deadline day. This window has been like no other in recent history. It's going to be good. So many deals hinging on others. I agree. I think it could. Do I think there's going to be a kind of huge signing today? I don't know. I don't feel like there is going to be a huge signing today. But what I do feel is that something's going to happen. I think there's going to be a deal that we all believe is off, that suddenly isn't off. And it's one of them ones there. How can Varane and Ronaldo be 4.2 million more than Ben White? Market forces, my friend. Market forces, my friend. Neves will be hard. Someone has to go, or United will be above registration limit. That's why Dan James had to go after Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, I totally agree. And look, I mean, that isn't a transfer deadline day update. That's a Pete O'Rourke update as of 6 weeks ago. He said that United will not be bringing in a midfielder unless we get rid of some individuals. So if Jesse Lingard doesn't leave, if Jesse Lingard doesn't go and everybody else stays, then in my opinion, there's almost no chance of there being a chance for him to come in. But is it on? Is it a possibility? Are Man United looking at it? I believe so. I think Fabrizio Romano's comments last night, again, were very telling. Very, very telling indeed. Very, very telling indeed last night. when he said that like it would be really difficult to get done. What was his actual words here? I did write his words down somewhere. I'm not writing down. I liked, there was a tweet that was shared in relation to it, and I liked it, and it made a lot of sense. I'm going to have to try and find it again now. There's so much that, as I say, there's so much that circulates over a 12-hour period. It's hard to keep up, if I'm being absolutely honest with you, because every 5 minutes it changes, every 5 minutes. But that's the thing with people. People's mindset changes every 5 minutes as well. There'll be an update from someone that says, there was an update last night that Simon Phillips shared that Saul Niguez was close, and now it's been reported as it's off, and people just fluctuate like the weather. And if a fairly credible journalist in 5 minutes says that Chelsea are looking at the deal again, I think it was Matt Law quite late last night said, and this is why I don't believe just one journalist. I think Matt Law quite late last night said that, is Matt Law or somebody, it was shared by Simon Phillips, I'll have to try and find it and dig it out, that they're looking at the deal, that they're looking at both deals. Both deals are still big possibilities for Chelsea. So I just don't see that it goes from that to being completely blocked in 3 or 4 hours without anybody else reporting that it's been completely blocked. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I would say relax. I would say relax. Matt Law last night said, there's a sense of calm at Chelsea. Sal has never been a top priority. With Kounde, the feeling is he's one for the future. It might happen in January, if not now. If both come up, great. He says, Chelsea have surprised me before on deadline day. Deals can easily come from nowhere. Never say never. I've learned anything can happen. It wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow a shock deal comes up, but I've not heard anything yet. And that's the point there. Matt Law saying this. It's like, just relax a little bit. Listen to what's being said, but don't write anything off. And I think that's a sensible approach from fans today. But that doesn't seem to be the approach that fans want to take this season in the transfer window. As it stands right now. Of course, Dan James, medical needs to, I think his medical is still pending, but everything else is pretty much done now when it comes to Leeds United. I think that's been updated. He's on his way. The reports yesterday of an Everton hijacking have now been kind of downplayed, that they didn't happen. They weren't true at all. Very interesting to see how and where and where that's kind of come from, if that makes sense. I'm always intrigued to know where those kind of things come from. But that looks like it's pretty much not dead in the water from an Everton point of view. Leeds United are bringing in Dan James, which is going to be very, very intriguing indeed. Lee Fierce's Emerson, done deal. Here we go. Has that been confirmed as of now? Has that been confirmed as of now? Let's see what happens in relation to that. But that'll be an intriguing one. That'll be an intriguing one today to see how that kind of not plays out. I'm interested to see the response of fans to that deal. Very talented player, as far as I can tell. A lot of people talk about him very, very highly, so it's going to be an intriguing one. But there we go. Interesting update here in relation to Ruben Neves coming up, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what I mean. You don't write anything off to see what's going on. I'm going to get it up. I'm going to get it on the screen in just a moment for you, ladies and gentlemen. This will be an intrigue. This will be an intriguing one, especially for you Tottenham fans, especially for you lot. As you can see here, an update here from Pedro that says Ruben Neves is negotiating a long-term contract with Tottenham. The player can cost 40 million euros. Man United doesn't give up and can make an offer. So Man United are still involved. There you see that update. Tottenham, though, reportedly leading the race for Ruben Neves this morning. Tottenham leading the race, according to this update here. You can see why I'm copying that there, because I will share that as a tweet. I'll retweet it and I will share it. But come on and have your say. Links are going to open very, very soon indeed. How do you feel about that, Tottenham fans? Tottenham fans tuning in, how are you feeling about that? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. A few hours ago, the deal couldn't be going ahead. Now there's an update that it can. Stop believing one source. Stop thinking things are just dead. The only time I'm going to believe a deal's off is if every journalist says it's finished and it's over, categorically, then you believe it. Not when one person does. Stop being weak. Stop being weak. Stop being weak. Tottenham trying to get stuff done. That would be a brilliant signing, is what Maria Williams said. Terry, your video says Ruben says Neves is on. Yes. And it is on. Yes, it's on. Confirmed by a verified journalist. Obzen, you're clearly a fan of another YouTube channel. Go watch them. You just done yourself, bruv. We make up no lies on the terrace. We report the news. And even when we tell you what we've spoken to other journalists about, we have these journalists on the show, god damn it. Imagine still, after all this time, trying to trigger the terrorists into thinking we make up stories like they're not trending on social media. Oh, brother, you're done here. You're done out here. You're done out here. You are done out here. Finish. You're in the mud. You got to go. You got to go. You've got to go after that one, my friend. You've done yourselves massively there, my friend. You've done yourself. Absolutely done yourself. Oh, God, sorry. You're making me laugh now today. Someone said go and check Fabrizio's Twitter. I'm on Fabrizio's Twitter and I can't see an update. He tweeted 28 minutes ago. There's nothing else on that, unless it's a reply to a tweet. Again, I keep saying people send me DMs with the links. It's a lot easier if you want me to put something up. There's no update from him. I can't see any update from him at all. So I don't know what you're referring to. So I can't sit there and keep going through it. I need you to send me the links via a direct message. You all know where my Twitter account is. The link's in the description below. Go check it out at Terry Flewers. Go and send me a DM and I can put the stories up. I can't just sit here and search. It takes too long, especially when I can't see what you're talking about. So the only way I'm going to have Liverpool kit is if we win, if I win the Football Terrace prize. Yeah, we'll be doing that draw tomorrow. We need to get those kits sent out, actually. Any update on the AFC Bells tweet this morning? No, nothing else has come out as far as I can tell and as far as I can see in relation to that, in relation to the AFC Bells tweet. So it may not come out today. I reckon I honestly think that's a story that can come out or will come out after the transfer deadline day. Those stories generally come out and get released after the fact rather than before or during. As a general rule, that's what you tend to see at this moment in time. This is what you tend to see from there in relation to that. I'm being told so many things to go and check out. Send me the link via a direct message, people. It's a lot quicker and easier. And I will get up onto the screens what I can. Update for Chelsea Football Club here. Big one for you this morning. The Jules Kounde to Chelsea deal is closed for the Sevilla ball. This is an update here from this gentleman here, Angelo. I'm not going to try and pronounce his surname, a journalist for Sky Sports. He's saying the deal is closed as of now in relation to Chelsea Football Club bringing in Jules Kounde. That marries up with a number of reports this morning that state and that claim that they might start looking for him next year. And this will be a very, very, very disappointing deal and very, very disappointing result for Chelsea Football Club. Verbal agreements in place between Sevilla and Chelsea for many, many weeks now, seen as very much a formality in relation to getting this deal closed off, getting this deal done, getting this deal over the line, getting this deal finished. And you know, a lot of disappointments, a hell of a disappointment for Chelsea to have Sevilla, you know, pull the rug from under their feet in the dying moments in the way in which they did. It'll be very, very disappointing and frustrating for them to see and have happen. So, yeah, as I say, I think, you know, we're just in a situation now where we'll see how the day plays out. I wouldn't be shocked if it reopens again, but that's the report that's out right now, that the deal was closed off. Of course, the report this morning here, Maria Williams, thank you for sharing. Emerson Royal from Barcelona to Tottenham, done deal. Here we go, confirmed. 30 million add-ons included for Spurs. Paperwork completed during the night. Official announcement today after the medicals. So that is it. 30 million euros. Emerson Royal is a Tottenham player. Very, very good business indeed there. It truly, truly is. I mean, I think that's very good. They've also beaten Arsenal to the player as well. I think that's the bit that's going to really resonate with Spurs fans. You beat Arsenal to that signing. So massive congratulations and well done to you. I just think you've done some really good business this year. You are looking, you could also, if you bring in Ruben Neves as well, you've kept Harry Kane, you've got Nuno Santo. I mean, it could be an absolutely brilliant day. It could be a brilliant day and a brilliant window for Tottenham. And when you consider how it started, you could end up winning this transfer window. You could end up being the most successful team in this transfer window. You truly could. So I would be very excited right now if I was a Tottenham fan about your season. I would be legitimately excited about the potential of what could happen for you going forward this season. There's no doubt. The guy who was saying Neves to Spurs said yesterday West Ham are on the verge of signing Tagliafico from Ajax, which was confirmed as wasn't true by Ornstein. And Mohammed, listen, that's fine, absolutely fine. Remember, the best transfer journalist in the world, 12 hours before Lukaku was pretty much done, even though they were sorting out structures, said it was impossible to sign Chelsea to sign him, and it got done. Like I've said before, please stop listening and disregarding. You actually speak to these journalists, and they will if they don't sit there and slag each other's stories, they just say what they've heard. Everybody gets things wrong. It may not be the case, but let us see. Let us see what the case is. Let us see the wood for the trees. We've seen all summer links. This player could be. When Marca put out the story that Messi wouldn't be re-signed with Barca, almost straight away, Fabrizio tweeted saying it's done, it's over the line, don't worry, he is re-signing. Within an hour, he was practically a PSG player. Let us learn from this. I can't say it any clearer. Let us learn from this. I don't understand why we keep getting these examples, but we don't learn from it. I'm very confused indeed. Doesn't mean Neves to Tottenham is going to happen, but it's a report that's out there. Let's think, if you don't think it's going to happen, then say you don't think it's going to happen. That's what you should be telling me. I want to hear your thoughts and not somebody else's, my brother. Let's engage our brains. Let's engage our brains. 0 first choice signings from CFC this summer, Terry, is what D1 has got to say. Well, Chelsea fans, we obviously will review the transfer window a little bit later. Are you disappointed with your window as a Chelsea fan? How disappointed are you? I'd just love to know how you're feeling about it. Let me know. Smash that like and share button. The links are going out now if you want to phone up and if you want to have your say. Links are being shared now. Sarim here says Spurs top 4 confirmed. Listen, if they do pull off this Ruben Neves deal, I'm not writing it off. I'm legitimately not writing Spurs getting into that position. I'm really not. I'm really not writing it off, because anything from that point could happen. Legitimately, the world is open to anything to go on there. Interesting update here. In relation to West Ham, done deal. It says here, this is from West Ham. Of course, they have signed Nikola Vlasic from CSK Moscow for around £25 million. Congratulations, of course, to West Ham United on getting that. That was interesting. Yesterday evening, I saw a fairly prominent West Ham account put a tweet out saying that was off. Again, like I say, I read everything I can, and I stay open-minded because the world is very interesting in relation to that. So there we go. I've been sent another tweet here. Man like sunshine here. And this is the interesting one. Of course, this came out last night. And thank you for the tweet, sunshine. What is this going to prove today? Renato Sanchez joining Wolves on loan. Thank you there. I don't normally show the DMs that get sent to me, but that popped up there. This is an interesting one here from Alex Cook. This is why the Ruben Neves deal is seen as on, why it's seen as open, and why lots of people are talking about it, because simply this news last night kind of broke the internet a little bit. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens in this space. We're going to go to your calls now. First to join me on the terrace this morning is going to be Jess. Oh, no, Jess isn't. Sorry. No, Jess isn't ready to come on the camera. My apologies. I'm going to get Sunshine on instead to come and have his say. Sunshine is here. What you saying, bro?
Morning, King. How you getting on, bro?
Mate, I'm good. I mean, I'm getting stick for reporting the news this morning, but I suppose it's because everybody's on tender hooks about how their club's going to perform.
Oh God!
So like, Terry, you've put out an update that's not true. I'm like, bruv, it got shared by Simon Phillips like in the night. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Like, it's not my fault. Calm down. But apart from that, mate, I'm happy as pig in shit. How are you, brother? How are
Love
you?
that, man. Yeah, I'm very well, man. I'm very well. Obviously, deadline dates. It's going to be a big day, man. I do think United, with the sale of Dan James, which is, I don't know, we got close to 30 million for him with the add-ons, but I mean, Everton apparently was a 40 mil bid late, but either way, that's a good pot of money to put towards at least another player that we could get in midfield, and Neves seems to be open for a possibility to move to Manchester United or, of course, to Tottenham. So, yeah, man, it'll just interesting to see if we can actually get a DM or someone who could play in a holding role in front of the back two. I do. Renato Sanchez, as I've just sent to you, I like Renato Sanchez. I'd much prefer Renato Sanchez in Manchester United setup in midfield anyway, so we may disagree. But I do think the qualities that he has from a defensive perspective in terms of winning that ball and being a little bit aggy in the hole, for me, I think that's an even better signing, especially if he's going to Wolves on loan. But if he's going to Wolves on loan, Neves to United surely has to heat up with the next couple of hours.
Mate, I completely and utterly agree with you. I think for me, this is what I say to football fans when it comes to deadline day. What would frustrate me is us not going in for him. That's my personal feeling on this. It's
Yeah,
a case
yeah.
we should be going in for him, and that's what I expect us to go and do as a football club. And that's my personal feeling towards it. Available for around 40 million. It's not even overtly expensive. Dan James leaving, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not West Ham come in for Jesse Lingard today as well. There's been a lot of talk, but no advanced or concrete offers. If Lingard was to leave as well, because one of the reports this morning is that Man United are looking to move at least 2 forwards on, and you would look at Dan James and what's his face, Lingard as those two. If we then didn't bring in at least one more person in that midfield, I would be disappointed as well. And if Spurs end up getting Ruben Neves, that as a fan, that would infuriate me. That would infuriate me massively, because I think he's doable. He's buyable. The only way I would kind of give United a pass on it is if it turns out that Neves has just said, by the way, what he said to me when he signed for Wolves like 4 years ago or so, I'm here because I want to play for Nuno. If he's following Nuno only and he's joining because he wants to play with Nuno, then I kind of respect it. Then there's not much you can do in that regard, but we should be going in for him today, and we should be able to. We should be trying to get it over the line. In terms of sort of other teams, I mean, every fan base seems angry at their window. Every one of the big six seems angry with their club's window. Overall, though, how do you feel about Man United's?
I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with Man United, because as much as I will appreciate the nostalgia and the natural feels of the Ronaldo deal being done, I just don't think the Ronaldo deal being done was for any footballing reason. I genuinely think it was for money, a money making reason from the Glazers and nostalgia for the fans. And I just think we're trying to move forward in terms of building a complete squad, and a midfielder or a DM is so key for so many reasons at Manchester United. And I think our midfield is more important than getting a Ronaldo in. However, do I see a Ronaldo coming in this team benefiting Manchester United mentally? Yes. In terms of standards being raised, yes. But I still feel he's not going to get as many opportunities because we don't control games. We don't actually dominate games for large periods of time where we can give him a lot of service. So it's going to be the same having a Cavani in the middle, who's probably going to get 1 chance, 2 chances in the game, and he's probably going to put them away. But it just doesn't seem right from a footballing standpoint. But I think, as I said, when you look at it on paper, you say names like Sancho, Varane, and Ronaldo. It does sound like a FIFA transfer, and it sounds amazing. But I think if the deeper you go, it's quite worrying. If we get this DM or a midfielder, I'd 100% say, right, it's a 10 out of 10, because you've kept Dalot. I think Dalot could push Bissaka as a right back. So I think you'd say 10 out of 10. But so far, I'll be honest, and that's including the nostalgia. Sorry, I'd say 100% it's a 7 out of 10 window for me personally.
I hear you on that, bro. I do hear you on that. For me, I'm around that same kind of number. And I think a midfield player would make me feel a little bit more relaxed, as you kind of alluded to. But at the same time, it's so hard to disregard that if you just stay on paper, Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo, it's like, Jesus Christ, it's very, very good indeed. But this seems like the weirdest. This summer transfer window for me has been the strangest I've ever witnessed. Chelsea fans told us they had the best squad in the league at the end of last season under Tuchel. They've added one of the best strikers in the world to it, and they're really angry. You've got Liverpool fans who I think are pretending not to be angry. I think they're pretending, oh, it's fine, we've got Van Dijk back, we're happy. You've got Arsenal Football Club, who there is reportedly going to be the biggest news today ever about malpractice at the football club that's going to expose everybody. They've spent the most in the Premier League, and they're unhappy. You've got Man City fans who, we don't know how Man City fans feel. You're in Manchester, and I bet you haven't even bumped into a City fan. So we don't know how they're really feeling about things, but they seem okay, to be fair. You've got Man United fans that signed 3 of the best players in their positions in the world and are still unhappy. Honestly, I've never witnessed a summer window like it. And we're almost getting to that point now with transfer windows because of social media where if people don't get every single player they want and all the players sold that they want, it's like they just want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I just find it very, very intriguing. The kind of like the psyche on it. Like one of the tweets we put out this morning, in fairness, it was a time tweet. So I wrote it last night and had it timed to come out before we went live this morning. And it obviously had the news that came from, I keep getting their name wrong. You know, that funny, that brilliant Spanish broadcasters with the Tic Tac guys. Like they obviously said that the Saul Niguez news was close. So that was part of our tweet. And all the replies are, Fab said it's off, Fab said it's off, Fab said it's off. Oh, this is like, and it's like, but that's not the only one. Yeah, there's more than exactly. And honestly, I've found it this year more than any other. The panic that sets in from people when there's an update, like there's just been an update that Jules Kounde is now closed, as an example. But then I almost feel like in 2 or 3 hours' time there'll be another update that says now it could reopen again. It's just that's what's being said. Relax about it. People just want to and the news today is going to change very quickly. You could tweet something now you've just been told, and in 15 minutes time another update comes out. But people are just, I think people spend most of their time now in the windows trying to disprove everybody wrong. It's so weird. That's such a waste of energy for me, but there we go. Sunshine, great call as ever, mate. Thank you for coming on and having your say.
Yeah, big ups, man. All love, man.
Top man. Thanks very much, brother. Thank you very much indeed. David here says, I'm happy United have done solid 8 out of 10 business so far this window. Get Neves and get rid of Jesse, Jones, and Fred, and it's a 10. Yeah, all 3 of those players are definitely, yeah, this is the name. How do you pronounce that? I don't even, listen, for a dyslexic, that is hell. That is hell on earth. Like, I'm very open speaking about my dyslexic brain because I've done all right in life. Do you know what I mean? I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm good. But that word there, I can't even try to pronounce that. Legit, can't do it. Can't try to say it. It's that. I'm not embarrassed. Actually, someone said to me, why are you not embarrassed about being dyslexic? I'm like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, there's a lot of things that can be wrong with you in this world that you can work on. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm about to say, like, my hair falling out. I mean, I'm not even that embarrassed about that, to be fair, because when I shave my hair off, I'm still a sexy motherfucker. So it's like, you haven't got to worry about it. You've got to own these things, and I own it. How do you actually pronounce this word, right? Let's get this. I'm going to try and translate it from Spanish. It means the beach bar. Did you know that? That word?
El chiringuito.
How the fuck am I saying that?
El chiringuito.
No, I can't even do it, but it means the beach bar in English. Ha! I didn't know that. That's what it translates. I'm just going to call it the beach bar from now. The beach bar. Sorry, I'm going to give it its English translation. The beach bar. That's so, honestly, they've been my inspiration. My transfer shows are going to be like theirs next year. You know what I mean? I'm going to plagiarize it. I'm going to steal it. We're not going to have Tic Tac. We've got to think of something other than Tic Tac. No, it's brilliant. I don't steal people's ideas. That's normally what happens to me. So we're not going to do that. Danny's coming on it's true. It's true. We share it in a group chat all the time. Like honestly, my flow gets stolen a lot and it's all good. Do you know what I mean? But no one really notices because I'm an old 35-year-old white man and it's like, I'm not cool. I'm out of sync, but I do something and then someone cool does it and I'm like, oh shit, look at that. Anyway, we keep innovating, we keep moving forward. It's what we do at the Terrace. Oh, we've got a super chat here. D1, thank you, brother. He says, at the start of the window, we only needed Lukaku. Then we shipped 3 midfielders and 3 centre-backs. Could play 70 games this season and don't have the depth in these positions. Who are the alternatives and why leave it 8 weeks? But you know the players you've sold and got rid of, right? They don't play for you. That's what I don't get, brother. They don't play for you. They never kick a ball. So I don't get it, bro. I don't get it, my brother. Guys, breaking the word down for me don't help. It don't help me. Have you ever, again, I know the younger generation don't like Friends, but there's a great episode in Friends where Phoebe is trying to teach Joey how to speak French. And it's like, he can, when it's said to him, singular syllables like, je m'appelle, he can say it, right? But when he got to say it all in one, it's like, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's funny, probably offensive nowadays. But anyway, that's how it is for me when I read words that don't compute. And my brain has this mechanism within it. I'm getting Danny Devlin in the details on in a minute, by the way, people. My brain does this thing where it will pick a word and where it says, nah, that matter how many times it's broken down or you hear it, I'm not letting you read it. I'm not letting you say it. I'm not letting you even be able to get one syllable right. My brain just says no. It talks to me. It literally tells me no chance tell. It's weird. And then what happens if that word's in like a paragraph? My brain then fixates on that word and I can only really see that word and all the other words around it become very blurred and move and lights appear on the page. It's proper weird, you know. I thought I had mental problems as a kid. Turns out it's just being dyslexic. But listen, don't ever let being dyslexic hold you back. Richard Branson was dyslexic. Albert Einstein was dyslexic. It doesn't make you stupid. It actually just means that you're special. That's what my mum used to tell me. Listen, Kessie update, Terry. Listen, I heard that it might be next summer. It's a very weird update this morning. It said they're working on it, but it could end up being next summer. Spurs have been pushing for this deal all year. Ruben Neves seems to be the priority midfield player for Ruben Neves, for Tottenham Hotspur right now. But I just say watch this space. Watch this space. Danny Devil on the details is here. It's transfer deadline day. If you're not enjoying today, by the way, and you're just going to be angry and be a stick in the mud, I say turn the TV off, turn social media off, read a book, talk to the missus, play with your kids, see your friends. If you don't enjoy the transfer window, today is hell for you. Today is literally hell for you, brother. Do you know what I mean? It's hell for you today. So don't engage. Don't engage. Devil in the details. Danny boy is here. Let's go. Yes, brother. Morning. How are you?
I'm good. You're on top form today. Jesus Christ, mate. You're on one this morning.
I'm honestly bored of all the negativity from so many football fans. It's crazy.
Listen, so now, okay, allow me to be negative. You set me up like that. Why did you say that? Look, I'm calm today. Like, the moment we signed Cristiano Ronaldo, we deviated from our plan or from the narrative, right? We can only buy a midfielder or right back if we sell players. Then we got Ronaldo. So now, whenever you know Man United to get off track and then to quickly get back on it with these owners, with Ed Woodward as the CEO. So I'm calm today. I'm not expecting anybody. If something happens, though, I'm going to be jumping from the roof because everybody knows why we need a midfielder. Like, we've got Ronaldo, love Ronaldo. He's going to score goals, by the way. People talk about us creating chances. Ronaldo will make Wan-Bissaka look like a good crosser, by the way. Remember I told you that? You're going to see some... Go back and watch Wes Brown's cross in the Champions League final. It was a terrible cross, Terry. It wasn't a good cross. Left foot, it swung out, then it hung in the air like this. And Ronaldo still turned that into a goal. So he'll be fine. But we know we need midfielders. Everybody wants Neves. I personally would prefer Shemani from Monaco. I think he's a much better player than Ruben Neves. It would not surprise me if we see Neves go to Tottenham. And when that happens, I could, like, after what happened against Wolves, the performance, Man United fans are going to go into meltdown. And Man United fans just need to be calm. You just need to accept the fact that we've done some really, really good business. Varane is a world-class centre-back, right? And he's against Wolves, he looked like he's been playing in the Premier League for years. Jadon Sancho will take time, but trust me, when he gets up and running with Bruno Fernandes, the creativity is going to be mad. Then you've got Ronaldo at the top, finishing chances, scoring goals. So it's actually been a good window. It's just we deviated from the plan, and we don't have that cohesion in midfield. All of our rivals, this is the big concern, is that all of our rivals have better midfielders than us. That's my problem. Chelsea have better midfielders. Liverpool have better midfielders. City have better midfielders. If Tottenham sell Ndombele and get Neves, Højbjerg and Neves is better than any combination we have. That's better than Matic and Donny van der Beek. That's better than Fred and Donny van der Beek. So
I do hear you on that. And I think for me, though, the way I kind of look at these situations a lot of the time is fans. I understand the disappointment, but it's about not throwing baby out with bathwater for me in these circumstances. Is it perfect? Did you get everything you wanted? No. But we've signed some brilliant football. I feel like there was some Man United fans, if we'd have got Ruben Neves, but not Varane, they'd be moaning about that. It's almost, and that's what I've seen with fans this year. I think the anger's there. It's almost this, I want it all. And if I'm not getting, if we're not getting rid of all the deadwood players that I want out, and we're not signing all the players or the positions that I want, I'm not going to be happy. It feels like that kid at Christmas who's been bought. Do you remember that? I don't know if have you ever watched Harry Potter?
Of course, sir. Come on.
All right, so the scene in Harry Potter where it's Dudley's birthday, and it's like, I only count 37 presents, and I had 38 last year. And it's like, yeah, but 2 of them are much bigger than last year. But I want 39 because it's a year later and I'm older. That's how Man United, that's how football fans have become. It's like, I know we've gone and bought lots of quality, but it's not as much quality as I wanted, so I'm still not going to be happy.
You know what? I'd push against that and say this one thing. I didn't want Cristiano Ronaldo. I didn't want him. And the reason why I didn't want him is just, if you look at Juventus 2017, and I think it was 15, when they got to the Champions League finals, look at their midfields. Then they get Ronaldo a few years later. Look at the midfield he had. They bought him to do better in the Champions League because they had Serie A on lock. They lost the Serie A title and got no better in the Champions League because their midfield wasn't good. So I think for once, Man United fans they've got their eye on the prize. They realize, hold on a second, even if you're Ollie Alter, actually, we built a pretty good team. Stick to the plan, add a midfielder. We're good money. We'll wait next year for Haaland. Let's go for Haaland. If we can't get Haaland, maybe we get Ronaldo next season. Get a midfielder now. So that train of thought, I'm with it. I get it. I understand it. But yeah, there's no reason to be melting, to basically burning down Twitter if we don't get a midfielder. It is what it is because we have a good team.
No, I hear you on that. We've got an update here that says thoughts. I think on ESPN podcast, San Ronaldo doesn't play well as a single striker and always plays with another one. Do you know what I'd say on that is Bruno Fernandes practically plays as a striker. If you actually watch it's one of the issues we had against Wolves. My tactical videos will return actually when the window's shut, when I have some more time. But when I watch the highlights back, we actually at times when the midfield had the ball, our front four, as they almost were like in a flat line. Because Bruno thinks like a striker. He thinks like an attacker. He was playing alongside Greenwood at times in that game and wasn't dropping into that hole as much as I would have liked to have seen him do. The game would have been very different if a player was in that hole. So I think there's lots of things we can work on when Ronaldo comes in, whether it's Sancho, maybe playing more as a 10 in a more of a higher position and things along there. So all sorts of things that we can do. Maybe we do play with sort of put Bruno into I actually think Bruno is a secondary striker. It's actually a better position for him than a midfielder, if I'm being absolutely honest, because it takes away he doesn't need to be on the ball as much. We know he loses it 20 odd times a game. Maybe that will change and improve things. I'm not overly concerned about that. Chelsea squad is great. Fixed our biggest issue. I keep calling him R9. R9 and outed the deadwood should not be held to ransom by another club. It sets a bad precedent. Well done, Marina. And I think that's the thing for Chelsea fans, I would say, is if you start
R9.
Romelu Lukaku, they're calling him R9.
What?
Yeah, they're calling him R9.
We're letting Chelsea fans call Lukaku R9.
I'm Switzerland these days on the football terrace. I just tell you what people are saying.
Chelsea fans, cut it out. That's disgusting. Don't ever do that. This can't become a thing. I need to talk to Jem after this. Make sure they say no.
The football terrace Chelsea boys are like some of the key protagonists in this. They are the key protagonists in this. Legit. Right. We're going to bring Kai and KJ on to join us right about now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring them on to have their say. Make sure you're smashing it. Like an update before you on that, though. It involves Man United as well. It speaks about West Ham's permanent move How are you pronouncing this name? Is that Vlasic? So it looks to me. But it's a done deal. It's now official. He's joined. Paperwork signed. It says Lingard now has a huge chance to stay at Manchester United. That is not going to be good reading to Manchester United fans this morning. It's really not. But we're going to bring the boys on now to have their say. Smash that like and share button. Let's go, people. Let's go. I got it right. I'm changing these scenes and I've got like this 2-second window to do it. Look how quick I can work and I can multitask, ladies. I'm a keeper. Morning, boys. How are you all doing?
I'm good, Tim. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I need to come to you first, bro. Firstly, are you one of the Chelsea fans who's calling Lukaku R9?
Can I curse here? F no, man. F no. I like Lukaku, but R9, man. These kids haven't watched R9, man. That's why they're being disrespectful. We actually the Chelsea Twitter account calls him RL9, but you know how Chelsea fans are, man. So yeah,
they're literally taking the L out. I mean, and
yeah.
An irony in that somewhere. There's a joke in there somewhere as well. If you're smart enough to think of one. How are you feeling today? Of course, the Saul Niguez and the Kounde news. It's fluctuating like the British weather. 1 minute it's on and it's close. The next minute it's finished. It's not happening. Where are you at with it? Do you think you're going to get either of those deals done today, mate?
I think the Kounde deal will happen. Unlike like the last super chat, I disagree. I think if we leave it to the last day with Sevilla, you need to look at this for their point of view as well. They have to get a new defender to replace him. If they do that, they and doing it in the deadline day isn't like ideal for the smaller clubs who like arguably don't have the financial power that Chelsea does have, you know. So I do understand both sides. So Chelsea fans complaining that Sevilla is this and getting the poor account, you know, unverified on Twitter is extremely childish, you know, because of how Chelsea
I saw that. Yes, they got up and coming journalists de-verified by doing that's what I mean by the poison of certain fans in our fan bases this year. It's like I've had it all morning where I've shared news from a like the Beach Bar, right? The English version, the Beach Bar. They've kind of taken over the transfer window this year with their kind of the comedic approach to it. Everyone's been listening to them and sharing their news. But it's like I've shared it this morning, and it's like poison towards me for not being right. Like the Jules Kounde thing. Obviously, I was very unequivocal that I thought that this deal was going to be done. I was told that like everything was agreed. It's all been confirmed as being right. It's just Sevilla pulled the plug at the 11th hour, and people are angry with me for like saying that there was the agreement was in place. Well, it was, but it's not my fault. Sevilla tried to pull a fast one on Chelsea. Yep. And equally, it isn't my fault that Chelsea are very good in these situations and they don't yield. It isn't my fault that you're not going to be hung over a barrel. But before I go to KJ, we have some breaking news this morning, Liverpool fans. Huge news. 1 second, bro. 1 second, bro. 1 second, bro. Huge news, Liverpool fans. You have made a signing on transfer deadline day. It's what we predicted. Here we go, Liverpool. Jordan Henderson, new contract, signed, sealed, delivered. Just as we said. We said you would announce this today on the football terrace. We knew this was coming. It was written in the stars. Honestly, it was written. Jupiter and Saturn have collided paths. Mars is shining brightly. The dogs are howling. The cats are meowing. And there we go. He's there. It's done. It's dusted. It's over the line. It's finished. It's finitoed. It's finished and finitoed. And we've got some more news coming for you in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. But we knew that was going to happen. But maybe even bigger news now. And this is news that's got me very, very excited indeed. Let's do it, people. Breaking transfer deadline. Viva Ronaldo officially announced he is back. He's back at Manchester United where he belongs. The greatest football player to ever kick a football in the history of the game. The highest Champions League goal scorer. The best looking football player. The best six-pack. The best pecs. The best goals. The best free kicks. He's back at Man United. He's not. Can he play CDM though? That's probably the question we got today. Can he play at CDM? Maybe not. But Ronaldo is back as well. Both those announcements coming out. Happy days. Happy days indeed. Panaldo is back. Back. KJ, morning, mate. How are you?
Yo, I'm here, just chilling. Deadline day. Deadline day is a weird one because it either be the most fantastic, mad day of the transfer window with everyone making signings, or it can be very somber and just nothing happens. I hope it's the former, not the latter. You know what I'm saying? Come on, English grammar and that. Come on now. Anyway, Ronaldo is back officially. He don't need no announcement video because we ain't got time to make one because he ain't even here. You know what I mean? He's in Portugal training. And two, we know what CR7 is. You know what I'm saying? All they need to do is just legit post all of his goals for his time at Man United, and that's his announcement video. You know what I mean? He is back. He'll probably get the 7th shirt because the Premier League are corrupt. You know what I mean? And don't care about the money. And we are going to be having a good time. We're here for vibes. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time. If we get a DM in the transfer window, I'll be happy. But if not, we've had a good window. No one can say we haven't. So
yeah, it's a good window. I mean, the thing about Ronaldo, and a lot of people are calling him, of course, Penandes and blah blah blah, and that's fine. Like I'm not even bothered about that. Like I don't even know. Like like. I'm not even going to get engaged with the BS. I mean, I had a Chelsea fan tell me that he's finished and he's washed. And then I had to remind him that he outscored Lukaku last year. Like, he'll still score goals. He's so hungry, even at the Euros.
Yep.
Like, look how many goals he scored still. And his team were awful. Can you actually imagine if Portugal were creating chances? What he would have done? If Portugal were creating chances, Ronaldo's putting them away. He's not going to lose that finishing touch. An over-the-hill Ronaldo at 36 is still better than the majority of strikers in the world. So we're not signing Ronaldo 5, 6, 7 years ago. We know that. That's why he cost us like what, £15 million, as opposed to costing us anything more. But commercially, it's also a good deal. I know that no one likes to hear that, but it's worth a lot of money to Man United. Like his fans that follow him every club he goes to, they're just going to be lapping it up. I'm telling you now, United are talking to their commercial partners already, and it's so what? How much more money are you paying us now that CR7 is going to be wearing, like, having your brand on him? Like, Team Viewer must be over the moon. Team Viewer must just be like Ronaldo for 2 years is wearing their brand. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, it's crazy. He has more followers on Instagram than every single Premier League club combined together. And that's what people go, no, he's getting paid 500 grand a week because he's worth it. He's Paul. One Instagram tweet. Like, do you know how much we could charge a sponsor for Ronaldo to push out an Instagram tweet? It's ridiculous. Like basically we could just turn Ronaldo into a billboard and he'll pay for himself. Do you know what I mean? It's just, we should just make him a jacket that he walks out into the field in. You know, like Formula One drivers that have got all their sponsors on them. We should just do that to Ronaldo every game and that pays for him. Like, it's crazy.
If you know what, if Team Viewer sees Ronaldo on it in their stuff, that should give them enough money to fix their bloody logo because that thing is ass, dude. Like,
can we talk about that blue kit, KJ? That
please
kit is so
fix the logo.
Dead. That blue kit is dead.
Hey boys, none of you can complain about kits. Have you seen the Chelsea kits? It's like they have number on the front and the back. Come on, man.
Not even Ronaldo in that blue kit is going to look good. So Team Viewer need to fix that up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any number for the Ronaldo shirts? Like, I actually am interested about the name.
Oh, Adidas, you've now got Ronaldo repping your kits. Stop shagging us with our kits, bro, because our kits are ass, man. Like, go out there, make some good kits, because you're giving all the drip to Arsenal and then man at the bottom of the Premier League.
Arsenal's kits on. Listen, I know I'm getting so old now. I look at some of these kits and I just think to myself, yuck.
Yeah,
like, legit, yuck. I like Man United's kit this year because it is plain, but it's classy, understated. Like, all this like noise on your football shirt, and it looks like some of them look like vomit. It's like, but everyone's like, oh, it's drippy, bruv. It's drippy, bruv. No, it ain't drippy. You look like shit. You look like shit. Do you know what I mean? Classic is better. Classic is better. By the way, I was watching The Last Dance last night. I've actually never watched that documentary. I didn't watch it because I don't watch things when everybody else watches it because I don't do trends as best I can. If everyone's watching it, I switch off. I'm like, ugh, I'm not joining in with the rest of you sheep. But I watched it last night. I didn't realize how influential Michael Jordan was with Nike as a brand, like how small they were when he got involved. and what he created. I didn't realize that it was Michael Jordan that made trainers a fashion accessory. Period. I was shocked to learn that. And then people talk about why certain players earn more than others, and it's but he's not as good as a footballer as this guy. Branding is everything. I didn't realize how Michael Jordan was basically the innovator of that for the world. Big up Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever.
Yeah.
He is. I've never watched basketball, but he is.
He's not.
No, he is. I'll tell you why he is, because what he did from a statistical point of view, an attitude point of view in terms of things, and like branding and raising the game. He was the trendsetter. Everybody else that may have done better things since only did that because he paved the way. It's a bit like
this is your Conor McGregor argument. I've heard.
No, but it's not. It's my argument for everything. It's like when you look at music artists, for instance, right? There's always an artist that like paves the way. Someone else might then become better than them or bigger than them, but without the original influence of that person, it wouldn't be possible to do that. It's like raising the bar each time. Does that make sense? And that's why.
So with your logic, the Bible is the greatest book of all time. I get you.
I'll reflect. The Bible is the greatest story ever told.
It's sold the most copies, though.
Sold the most copies. It is a great book. It is a great book.
You're right, KJ.
It literally inspired. Imagine that. Without the Bible, you wouldn't have great fiction like James Bond or Harry Potter. So, you know what I mean? You're absolutely spot on, bruv. Sorry, Kay, you walked into that one. But it's true. It's true.
No,
anyway,
that's facts.
But yeah, Michael Jordan's got I went to his restaurant once, right, in Chicago. Very expensive. And then what you don't realize until you're eating in America is that you have to tip, and you have to tip a lot of money. And it was like 20%, right? These scandalous Americans stealing money, right? So the bill comes in, it's like $350. And then it's like, my mate whispered in my ear, he's like, you do realize you've got to put like in this kind of restaurant, it's like minimum 20% you got to put on top. I was like, minimum? He said, yeah, like that's minimum, but like you might want to like do a bit more. You don't want to look like a cheapskate. So I ended up putting like 25% down as a tip, and the bill increases like ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, do you know what I mean? And I was young. I was really, really young. And I was like, I'm at 23, and that killed me, honestly. One of them ones, boys, where you've not got a lot of money, right? And you spend a lot of money, and all you want to go and do is look at your bank balance to see what it's done to it. I need to go to an ATM. I've got to go check what's happened. Yeah. Oh, those were the days. That was a good restaurant, though. Good restaurant. Very good restaurant. Very expensive. So, the steak I had was like $90. And that was, how old am I now? That was like 15 years ago. So I bet that steak is like $200 now. Anyway.
You're talking about greedy Americans, Terry. I'm pretty sure we got one backstage.
Bruv. It's cool. It's cool. Only Terry can make the Michael Jordan sound so average. The documentary was made to teach those two young in the US about the greatness of Jordan. Everyone else already knew.
Okay,
I made him sound average.
That's kind of the point that you made.
Yeah, I mean, literally was what I was saying. It's the point. He was the trend. He was the guy. You know, it's like all kind of artists now. Whether you're like a huge fan of, like, literally, I even look at some rap artists and everything, what they're doing commercially now, without Michael Jackson, who broke the mold for music artists and took them into a new stratosphere. Like I've seen some amazing live performances from artists out there, from Beyonce to others. But I look at it all, and all I see when I watch it is the influence of what Michael Jackson was doing 20, 30 years earlier. That's my point. Like, you can't ever be better than him because he started it. Does that make sense? It's like just a trend thing. It's like rock artists trying to say that, you know, it's like trying to say, you know, it's like singing similar music to the Beatles, but saying you're better than the Beatles. It's just impossible. You can't be. Anyway, remember Man United's all grey kit? Yeah, that all grey kit was dead. Oh, it was absolutely awful, bro. Absolutely awful. We're going to take some calls now. We're going to get Fixer on to have his say. I wonder what Fixer is going to moan about today. What are you saying, Fixer?
Hey, Terry. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. What's on your mind?
I just want to talk about the Daniel James situation.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, go on. Say it.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I don't think, even though I agree it was the right decision to sell him, I don't think he was the one that should have left the team. I think that because he was starting games, he was playing more games than quite a lot of players in that team, like Lingard and Cole. But I think that just shows social sort of favoritism, whatever you want to call it. I think I think Dada James is literally like the weakest link in the team. I don't mean like ability wise, but I mean like just personality wise, basically. It's like the kid everybody can push around and social, sacrificed him basically.
Yo, you are just rambling and waffling because you're trying so hard to find something to complain and to beat Ollie with a stick with that you're just making up words, bro, and putting them together.
Wait, I'm confused.
Is
Is it a good thing or a bad thing we sold him? I don't understand.
I mean, it's not exactly a bad thing.
It's not exactly a bad thing.
But at the same time, it's like
hang on. We bought a player for £15 million who hasn't worked out and has flopped, and we're selling him for nigh on £30 million. And you're complaining? You're trying too hard.
We could have sold Lingard for 30 million as well.
No one wants him.
No one wants Lingard. West Ham wants Lingard.
No, they don't. They bought Vlasic now.
Where's their bid?
Yeah, because we didn't want to sell him. They wanted Lingard.
We didn't want to sell him. No. This is the one thing where I'll defend Man United this summer. We are not, same as Chelsea are doing right now, but in reverse of buying. We're not selling people under value anymore. And this is where fans, I know everyone wants things resolved in the here and now. But at the end of the day, I back Man United's endeavours to not undersell players. So if you value a player at 20 million and you've only been offered 12, 30 million pounds, you do not accept it because you set a precedent that you will undersell. It's like with Chelsea. They had an agreement in place with Sevilla of 42 million pounds. They would probably be happy to increase that by a small amount of money, but to suddenly have 15 million added on top at the last moment, Chelsea are never going to do that because you set yourself a precedent for the future that can be done. And then suddenly, just deep it for a second. If you sell for £10 million cheaper every player on average and buy for 10, 15 million pounds and you sell and buy 6 players a summer, you want the club to hemorrhage £60 million a year? They don't have to. That is suicidal. It is suicidal approach. Like anyone that wants their club to do that, I don't want to hear from you. Like I know well, I do.
Yeah,
no,
but basically that's not what I'm saying. That's literally not what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, we could have sold West Ham were willing to pay at least 25 mil for Lingard. We just didn't want to sell him for some reason. We didn't want to let him go.
They put no bid in.
Mate, look at the tabloids. Go back and look at it. Read the tabloids properly.
No. They've made inquiries. Man United told them how much it would cost. The West Ham know what they have to pay.
And how much did they say it would cost?
Around about £25 million we want, and West Ham have said no to that. West Ham have said no to that.
West Ham did not say no to that.
Yes, they did.
What tabloid, mate? What tabloid?
Okay. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make, guys. The point I'm trying to make basically is Daniel James was playing games. He played started the last 2 games, right? He was in Solskjaer's plan. I think it was just a sacrificial thing to give space for Ronaldo to come into that team. And basically, what I'm trying to say is we should get rid of more players like Lingard and the rest of them, as opposed to keeping players who, A, are not really gonna play for us, and B, are shit. Yeah,
but
mate, listen, Fixer, thanks for coming on and having your say, bro. You've become very negative. Have you broke up with your girlfriend? Did she? What's happened? What's happened in your life, brother? Like, has your next door neighbor been stealing your milk? Like, what's made you so angry?
No, I'm not actually angry. Actually, it's the opposite. My life is actually going better now. But what I'm trying to say is, I just think Solskjaer is getting away with a lot of shit.
Did Solskjaer piped your missus, isn't it? That's what this is.
No, he did it. But ever since that European Cup final, I've literally just had this extreme towards this hatred guy, but not hatred, but I don't know.
Hatred.
And before that, I actually liked him. Look at your videos before that. I actually liked this manager.
Yo, bro.
But after that, I was just like,
this is what I recommend. After the stream, you go heal from that experience because it's still lingering, and come back a new man. Because right now you're operating from PTSD and anger, fam. You go deal with that and then come back on the terrace because you're chatting nonsense every time you come on. I don't want that for you. You know what I'm saying? I want better for you.
No, I'm not chatting nonsense, man.
No, you are, bro. You're coming out with stuff that it doesn't make any sense on any level ever. Like it's actually crazy. I want to show something here though, because I actually saw this yesterday. I need to share this, right? I'm not going to share the whole bit that he did, But honestly, it's the funniest voice impression thing I've ever seen in relation to. I need to share this. Let me stop sharing that screen. Share this. It's this, if you could put Ollie, like if you could put Ollie into like this is just captivates Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer to the nth degree. Listen to this. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's huge for football in general, you know.
It's Beckham.
Maybe he might come to Inter Miami after his spell at United.
I say to Ed Woodward, why don't we bring back Ronaldo? But he tells me that he won't believe in my philosophy. Bullshit.
I had a conversation with Cristiano. I told him, so he can't go to Manchester City, son. Can't do that. I mean, that'd be disgraceful. I come back. So he's coming back. It's going to be great. The fans are going to be absolutely over the moon. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it. Played with him. And I'm looking forward to coaching him. So it's going to be the most fantastic signing at the club. So
fantastic. That's the bit that gets me. It's the look at his facial expressions. But it's the most fantastic signing. Listen,
the most fantastic signing at the club.
I can hear Ollie saying that as well.
It's true. You know what I say to people? That's people's issue with Ollie. He's not like when he speaks. There's no publicly. There's no authority in him. It's kind of comedic. And
Terry,
like,
he's a shit manager. Trust me.
He is, man.
That's it, man. All that stuff. He's literally a shit manager. It's just that he's lucky. He's just a lucky manager, though.
Honestly, that's what I'm going to start saying. We've got to make that phrase on here. Big up Al, by the way, one of the best impersonators out there. Brilliant at what he does. Most fantastic. Honestly, please, Ollie, say that in your next interview. I'll die. Like when I saw that bit, they were all very good, but that's the one I laughed at because it was like, Solskjaer. But listen, Fixer, thanks for coming on, bro, and having your say. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much indeed. We'll try and throw another call in here. We're going to go to, not spoke to him in a while. Abs is here with us. What are you saying, Abs?
What's up, boys? How are you?
Very good, mate. What do you want to say, brother?
Yeah, I'm saying that I'm obviously glad that Ronaldo signing. How much we need to get Ruben Neves over the line. Just because, like you said earlier on, if you watch the last game, tactically, when we play Pogba centre mid, we have a person in like that false 10 in that half spaces in the final third who links our midfield to attack. And having a Ruben Neves that's got the ability to play that forward pass opens up our team so much. If we don't get him, I think we're actually going to struggle to win anything this season.
I totally get where you're coming from. I think it's going to be an interesting one for me to see how it all plays out. One thing I would say is this. I know we don't have the mid. Danny said it earlier. We don't have the midfield that everybody else has. However, every team's got holes. Every team has got, according to their fan base, every team's got a hole in it. So, and all those holes will impact them if they're true, right?
Oh, it's just weird because we're good to get Hyde's opinion. I don't think Chelsea have any holes. Man City, they say their strike as a whole. I don't think it is. They score enough goals around to sort of not need a 30-goal a season striker. I just think our biggest only hole is centre mid. That's why I can get a good quality centre mid that's good on the ball and can pass it forward. Is the most important thing.
Yeah, no. Listen, I totally get where you're coming from, mate. I do, and it is a concern for a lot of people. How would you rate Man United's window out of 10?
Ooh, 9.5.
Oh, so still very good.
Out of 10.
Still
yeah,
very
still
good.
A very good window. If any Man United fans say we've not had a good window, they're smoking something, and whether they're smoking, I need to smoke as well.
Who had a better window than United? I don't think anybody did.
No, you can't. PSG probably. You say because they signed Messi, but yeah, I think Messi had the best window in world football. If it would be like that.
Yeah, I don't know about PSG because Messi is like in the coming twilight of his career, and they didn't really need him. It's just like, but you United, you fixed you needed a second center back, and you needed a winger, and you got two world-class players. I think United fans, you guys complain more than Chelsea fans, to be honest.
I think our window is good. It's up there with one of the best in the Premier League as an entire window. If anything, the best. I'm not going to hide away from that. But does it fix everything that Man United needs to do? No. there's still that midfield issue in there, which I believe we need 2 midfielders for. But we can't sit there and say we've had a bad window. Man United fans saying, "Oh, it's only a 4 out of 10 just because we haven't signed a DM." They're just being miserable for being miserable spake, you know. Like it's definitely a 7 or an 8, and a DM would make it a 10. So I think that's
and you know it's interesting as well. I read it again. I think when it comes to a lot of these transfer deals, people tend to not read. They don't read the reports. They just read the headlines, because there's been a few updates that have come out about Man United's midfield pursuit, and the one thing that you see is fairly consistent has been some of Man United's top target is Declan Rice, is who they want to go after. The same Man United fans who years have bemoaned that we've gone after 3rd, 4th, 5th choice players are now screaming, just sign anyone. But that's exactly what you condemned Woodward and the Glazers for doing for all those years. So there is a part of me that just thinks if we can't get our number 1 or number 2 target this year, we shouldn't just sign anyone. Like that's not been the approach. The only time you deviate is when an option arises. So when you actually look into the Varane situation, Varane was on everybody's wish list, but nobody thought he was available or attainable, so nobody was chasing him. When he became available, the club moved straight in to try and get him, which makes sense. Cristiano Ronaldo, read the full report. They were looking to, Man United wanted to sign him next year on a free. That was always the plan. But because he became available this year, and because Man City were looking at him, they changed things and they moved things around. So when you hear people come out with, again, one of the weirdest comments I've heard this year from football fans is Sancho doesn't even count as a signing this year because he was last year's target. Football doesn't work that way. We missed out on him last year. So instead of getting him, we went and signed Cavani and we went and got a Mad. So we went on to alternative options. We still spent that money last year on other players and we went for him again this year. Equally, we signed Varane when he wasn't even on our list. And we signed Cristiano Ronaldo a year early. So if you're looking at Ronaldo and you think it's a good deal, then you must think by that same logic that it's a super duper deal because we've got him a year earlier than we were expected to get him. That's making it 100 times better. That logic just doesn't fall down. Football doesn't work in that way. Look at Chelsea, what they've said that's been briefed today via Matt Law. That if they don't get Kounde, they'll try again in Jan. If not, they'll try again next summer. They want Jules Kounde. They're not going to just spend over the odds on him or to suddenly change their minds and go after a different player. Jules Kounde is not looked at as a here and now player. They look at him as someone for the future. And that's where I think fans just need to relax a little bit. You know, we all kind of looked at Liverpool in awe a few years ago when they were winning all those trophies and playing brilliant football. And one of the kind of cornerstones to that success was their transfer approach, where they literally would wait 2 years to get the player they wanted because that was the right fit for their system. And we were like, wow, I want my club to behave like that. Our club start to behave like that and our fans cry. That's the bit that frustrates me, if you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think about Liverpool, Terry, if I can add, do you think it's like, because for me, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would start getting worried because that Champions League, Premier League winning side is getting really, really old, and the level of players that they're replacing them with, or the one that's they're improving the team with, are 3 or 4 tiers below that. So you're getting to the point where the majority of that squad isn't good enough. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but that's how I see with the signings that they're making, and they rarely are making signings. So in a year or two, both if you already see Mane is already starting to decline. The level from now where he was 2 years ago is not the same. Salah has already reached 29. Is he 28, 29 now? He's going to be 30 soon. So they need to actually look up. So I don't know if it's the way how they want to do their business. But if I was a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't look at it the same way as, okay, we didn't get the players that we want, so we can wait 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I just think their board has the same issue that Arsenal fans are having. I think they just had good two windows a few seasons ago, but it's starting to be a bit shaky. If I was them, I'd be worried.
No, but listen, I understand. And, we had Lou on yesterday from Give Me Sport, and KJ was backstage afterwards, and KJ was like, I can't believe how supportive he was. This guy is just, and you can hear in his voice, completely relaxed. We're going to be fine. We're going to win the league. We're not going to, he actually said it all. We're not going to get any major injuries. And the irony was, this is the one bit in that argument that I like. If you say, and we did have part of the terrace panel, Jess said that, she thinks that they could get injuries. Is how can you predict who's going to get injured? Are you a doctor that can tell the future? No. But equally, they're predicting that the injuries are not going to happen. So at the same time, it's did they not see the flaw in that logic? You're telling me I can't predict an injury, but you're telling me there won't be injuries. How could it don't make any sense? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The crazy thing from Liverpool fans, which I don't understand, is the African Cup of Nations is going to take their out for a month, and their replacement is Origi, and they think they're still going to try and win the league. They're very delusional.
Yeah, Terry, look at John Cross's new tweet, Arsenal news.
All right, we're going to go to John Cross's account now and see what he's got to say. I haven't heard anything from John Cross nearly all summer here. Let's go and have a little look at this now, ladies and gentlemen. Big breaking news about Arsenal. I don't know if it's big breaking news, but it's definitely breaking news. Let's do it. After his move to Everton was blocked, Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been told he won't be training with Arsenal's first team. What are they doing? This club. I mean, we don't know the. Oh my god! I'm like, fucking hell. Anyway, Arsenal Football Club. If they do this to Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and the fans don't all cut up their season tickets, I never want to hear an Arsenal fan moan again. How can they treat him like this? How can they treat him like this? How? I'm gonna get Josh on to have his say with us. Josh is an Arsenal fan. What are you saying, Josh?
Yo, what are you saying, man? How you doing? First of all, I just want to say CR7 is back and back in shape. Honestly, I'm a bit scared, mate, because your attack here, Lord have mercy, bruv.
I get that, but I need to ask you though. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's moved to Everton's blocked, and now he's not allowed to train with your first team. What's that about?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know. Honestly, I couldn't care less because he hasn't.
You couldn't care less because Ronaldo's back at United.
Yeah.
You're an Arsenal fan. You're an Arsenal fan. Oh my god. It's terrible. We're going to bring Jess on to have her say on this Ainsley Maitland-Niles news that's happened here. Welcome back to the show, Jess. Morning. How are you?
Arsenal.
Arsenal got really cold shapes.
I need to ask straight away. I mean, this news about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I mean, you're not even going to let him train with the first team, but you won't let him move. What is all this about?
Arteta being horrendous at his job. I mean, what are they doing? It's like anything not to have to deal with like the real part of their job. Hello, you have like what? 10 something hours left in this window, a little bit more than that. Like, you need to be working on transfers, not trying to, I don't know, punish Ainsley. I know that they don't like the way that he came out in like an Instagram post, but last time I checked, Granit Xhaka like took off the armband and stomped on it, and you're still kissing his ass. Like, you know what I mean? So it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb, but it's just a convenient, blip to take away the focus on what they actually need to be doing. Like, Ainsley just wants to play, and he had a move to Everton. Just let him go. You're not going to play him. If he's willing to play right back, I don't know why we just don't let him play right back. But Arteta's more focused on punishing people and being this weird dictator. And you're not good at coaching. Like, focus on coaching. You don't need to be a dictator. Just focus on your job. Like, it's just, what they're doing to Ainsley is so stupid. And I know he isn't, maybe he hasn't made the best decisions, but he's the kid and you're the adult in the room. Like, can you not handle and manage players who are unhappy? Like, one thing that people talk about with Ole Gunnar is that, like, maybe he's not the best coach, but he's a great man manager. Even players that are on the edge, he can bring them back in. Arteta's, like, his thing is exile. It's always exile. If I don't like what you've done and you're a young kid, because Xhaka gets away with everything, Saliba, Guendouzi, Torreira, exile. Just get out. I don't want to see you. Doing the same thing with Ainsley. It's just so, I'm bored. Like, I'm so over it. And then on top of that, it's really, really quiet. And for me, if I don't hear anything in the next 2 hours or so, I'm going about my day. Like, this is insane. It's deadline day. We should be signing players, not punishing Ainsley for something that he did because he was just, it's a cry for help. Like, he wants to play. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's It's horrible. It's kind of horrible to see in many ways. And I think that I said before about Frank Lampard. I don't think Frank Lampard's issue was his tactical elements to a degree. Yes, Tuchel's better, but I thought Lampard was okay in the area. It was how he treated people and the Tomori sort of situation of the manager would tell him, you have to work harder, you have to, I don't know, run faster, you have to do these 5 things if you want to get back in the team. He would do them and then never get the opportunity and then was never told why. That type of bad man management is poisonous, and it's true. And you see it all. And you see it all the time when it comes to Mikel Arteta, and he's losing that dressing room, and it is falling apart. And the crazy thing is that by the time they get rid of him and they bring in somebody else to try and steady the ship, the season's already going to be a write-off for Arsenal. You know, they're already sort of 7 points away from like top 4, which would have been like an internal target this year. And in 4 or 5 more games, they could end up being 10, 15 points away from any European place. That becomes almost an impossible task to recoup over the start of the year. Like if you started the season off with like 10 points away, 15 points away from a European position, you wouldn't fancy Arsenal to make it up. And they're already heading towards that right now. It's crazy. We have a super chat here that says, perfect win for Ollie Outers. If we win, that's to Ronaldo. Don't win, regardless of context. Ollie's fault. Live and love, don't hate. Life is too short. I mean, look, Ollie Outers will always do that. We could, you know, no matter what we do, it's never Ollie's fault. Down to Ollie when we do well. It's always down to the players. When we lose, it's always down to Ollie. We know this already, my friend. Thank you for that super chat. Jude here says, what has happened at Arsenal? They are starting to become a terrible club and could, no joke, see them getting relegated in the next few years. And you know what's crazy? Like I can't see them being relegated myself. But with all the things we're hearing, if they don't fix up, they could. Because it could just fall apart if people stop playing. And I don't know. Can you imagine the carnage if they went down? I mean, it would just... Honestly, having to see DT and the man travel to Doncaster. Honestly, Doncaster, Donny Rovers, bruv. Donny Rovers.
But Terry, you know what you can argue? That Arsenal doesn't want to sell to a relegation rival, man. You could argue that. That's why they don't want to let them go.
I hear you on that. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to go. We are back to, we're going to have loads of streams today. We're going to be in and out of streams all day. From around 6 p.m. We're live through until midnight tonight. So make sure you stay tuned with the Football Terrace. Do me a big favor and smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. But until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again.